www.convo playoff track.
What's happening, Reds? Here we are back again, another video. This time Europa League is back. Welcome to the video. Thanks for tuning into the channel as always. So, Partizan Belgrade away from home, Europa League, first game back in Europa League since the international break, and it's going to be a tough one, to be honest. What do we know about Partizan Belgrade? Not too much. They're having an alright season, 3 points off the top of the league in their division. They do score a lot of goals. It's not the toughest league in the world, so you can take the goal scoring with whatever pinch of salt you want, because how you're going to judge their league is entirely up to you. But let's be honest, it's not down as one of the most notoriously difficult leagues in Europe, is it? Let's get that straight for the word go. So whatever they're doing in their league obviously doesn't count for much, or does it? Because they're going into this game full of confidence, as you would, and we're not going into it with much confidence at all, because away from home, we can't seem to beat anyone at the moment. So how do we approach this game? It's going to be tough. What we do know is that places like this are hostile. So in terms of squad selection, team selection, who goes, does that automatically pick the team? Do we go in with experience, sort of fringe players, hoping that they can just get the job done? Or do we give the youth a chance again? Or is it just a little bit pointless sending the youth with a hostile situation? I think I know how well he's going to approach this. I think he'll walk away from this one thinking another draw is going to be satisfactory, and then just try and win the home games in the group to see us through the group. But, you know, honestly, there is a case for us just going out there with a strong enough team and just getting a win just to get this away voodoo off our backs, because the longer it goes on, the harder it is going to be to turn around. It's all we're thinking about at the moment, because our last away win was in Europe at PSG back in March, so we've got to look at it as a chance, maybe, just to go away from home. I know it's going to be difficult just because of atmosphere and stuff like that. Stadium closures, the issue with racism and things like that going on in that part of Europe at the moment. It is not uncommon for it to be going on right now. We all know the issues that are going on in that sort of subject at the moment. Is it a place where you want to be risking the sort of youth players, the ones that we've got? Is that going to be just too much of an atmosphere, throwing them too far into the deep end? Do we risk playing certain players coming back that like Martial, who only got 15 minutes at weekend, 10 minutes against Liverpool? Does he come back into the team to get game time? Or is he the sort of player you want not to be risking because you want him available for Norwich at the weekend? Do we go strong, get this voodoo off our back at the risk of going into Norwich and then cocking that up again? Because I said it personally, I just think that I wouldn't really be bothered if we went out of this competition. That was at the start of the season when the draw was made. I really wasn't expecting the season to go as sour as it has gone, to the point where we're at now, languishing in 13th in the league, not being able to get a win, 2 wins in the first 9 games of the Premier League season. I did not expect that. So there is a point for going strong in the Europa League now. There is, you've got to admit there is, because let's be honest, we're not getting in that top 4. That's gone already after 9 games, because the other teams are just not going to lose the amount of games it's going to take us already to get back in there. I just can't see it. I just look at Chelsea and I look at the likes of Leicester, teams like that. They just look a lot stronger. And we're already, 7 or 8 points off the top 4 now. So what do we do? Do we go in strong? But again, the pressure's going to keep mounting on Ollie. I think a result against Norwich at weekend would help him more than a result against Partizan tomorrow night. That's my opinion. I just think that it's going to be more important at weekend, the result. But we're going to be hampered either way, because we always are. We always seem to have a tough away game straight after a European away match. We had it against West Ham early in the season. We've seen how bad we was. He played Matic and Mata 2 games in a row, and it didn't work. It doesn't work. Then players cannot play 2 games in a row. 2 games in a week, I mean. So what do we do? Do we go and try and get a win just to boost confidence and mood and try and lift the place a little bit? Or do we think Norwich in mind and just go out there and try and play safe? It's not going to be an exciting watch, I do know that. I do know that for certain. I don't think it's going to be a great game. How do Partizan approach this? They're going full bore, trying to take a big scalp, a big name in Europe. That's how they're going for it. So if we cannot match their work ethic and their energy and their sort of approach to this game, I think we will get beat because they will be all over us like a rash. And then that brings the team selection back into point again. Is it too much for the young lads? Do we play the fringe players because they've got a point to prove? Hopefully. That's what you would be thinking. Maybe this is my chance to get into the team for a weekend to the Premier League. That's what you'd hope a lot of the fringe players were thinking of. But we all know what our fringe players are like. And obviously they don't seem to be too bothered about sitting on the bench. You'll have the odd one like Matic who's kicked off. Snidely kicking off, not making a big deal out of it, but you can see where he's getting with his comments about blaming Ollie if things do go wrong. And there is elements of our squad like that. So who would you pick? Let me know, obviously, comment below. Let me know who you would pick in this team. Do you go youthful? Do you go reserves? Or do you go full strength? Just trying to get a win under our belts. A long journey back, and then we're thinking Norwich away, a long journey again over to Norwich. And it's not an ideal situation to be in right now. We're dealing with 2 possible defeats in a row. Let's be honest. We could easily lose both games. On the flip side, easily win 2 games if we approach them in the right frame of mind. If we approached the Partizan game and the Norwich game, for instance, well, let's just stick with the Partizan one for now. If we approach this game in the same mindset as we did the Liverpool game with that energy, high press, I do think we would take Partizan and probably score a couple more goals because we weren't creating much against Liverpool, but Liverpool are a top quality team at the moment. If you transfer that work ethic and energy from a Liverpool game into a team like Partizan, then inevitably we have got a better chance of winning, better chance of scoring more goals. Who would you play though? That is the problem now. Because it moves me on to my next point about this game, the worry of injury again. And every time a player goes down at the moment, my heart's in my mouth because I think there's just going to be out for another spell. It's another player injured. You know, if it's not one of the defenders like Axel pulling up in the back, it's someone like Martial up front who looks like an innocuous injury. He's out for 2 months. We can't afford any players to be out now. Look at Pogba. We're playing him with an injury because he didn't know what was going on. So any sort of injury to United player at the moment is just going to be catastrophic for our season, how we go forward. So who do you play? I mean, if I'm honest, I do think we need to mix it a little bit. I wouldn't mind Martial playing. I think he needs game time. He needs to get his sharpness back, and probably would be one player who would benefit from a game like this. Whether his attitude and sort of mindset for a game like this, and by that I mean, can he be bothered, basically? Because we do know that Martial, I know it's just the way he carries himself, but you do think sometimes that he doesn't turn up for games. If it's a pointless game, is it worth him playing to get himself back? Has he got the right attitude to come back to a game like this? Because it is going to be a little bit more rough and tumble. He's not the most robust and get stuck in sort of player. When a few tackles do go into him, he sort of goes missing. You can't deny that. Whereas Rashford would probably just keep on running and running and running. I don't think you're going to get that from Martial. I wouldn't risk James. I don't think this is a game for James because he's been targeted at the moment. We've seen it. He got concussed against for international break. He went down and was out on the floor again with another head injury for Liverpool game. We did have a few minutes there, so it's pointless taking James at all, I think. I just let the guy rest out, let him have this week off, and then come back stronger for Sunday against Norwich when I think that's more of a game for him. You've got kids there who can come in. Does Gomez and Greenwood play? Or like I said, is it too much of a atmosphere for these sort of players to throw them in? Is it fair to these players? But what have we got left to pick? The squad, again, it's a repetitive, broken record, the threadbare squads that we've actually got right now. And that is an issue. That is a big issue right now because we're having to force or put these younger players in and just hope that they swim. Because ideally you'd like to bed them into certain games, into a team that is playing with confidence. One, we haven't got the squad to actually cope with this amount of fixtures that we're playing. Two, the squad is not playing well, and players coming into a squad of players who aren't in the best of form is obviously going to hamper them. They're going to come in hoping to bounce off players and experienced players who are playing well. It's just not happening at the moment. And you can say it's really unfair on them, but we are short on numbers. I mean, there's not one player in that team that played against Liverpool who I'd probably want to risk just for the sake of worrying about another injury right now. I don't want to play James, like I said. I don't want any of the back four to be playing. I think we've got enough players to come in to the back. Hopefully Axel is fit for weekend. I'd play Rojo again tomorrow night. I would. I'd play him without a fear. I think it's the sort of game that he would relish. I would obviously play Phil Jones. I would play. Who else would I play in there? God, these. Like I said, you're scraping the barrel again because. Do we need Ashley Young? I can't believe I'm saying it. Do we need Ashley Young for Norwich? I've got a feeling he will be rested anyway because he's another player at that age. You cannot rely on him for 2 games in a week. Like Mata, like Matic. Mata and Matic are 2 players who could easily move into this team and play this game. You've got Martial who needs game time. There's a pretty strong middle there. You've got Romero at the back, obviously. Does Brandon Williams come in? Does Axel play and get some more experience? If he is fit, I don't know. I mean, does Rojo play? I think Rojo should come in and play. And then, all of a sudden, after looking like we had players in abundance at the back, we're looking threadbare at the back with all them centre-backs that we've got. And, you know what, I mean, who would you play? Who would you put in there, honestly? I really don't know which way he's going to go with it or what team he's going to pick. My prediction for the game, I do think, will be a draw. I can't see any other result. I think Ollie will go and play for a draw. He will say he's going for a win, but that will be a lie because he's already come out and said if you draw the away games and win the home ones, that will take us through. So I know where his mind's at. He'll be thinking, let's just get out this game out of the way and get out of there. That's what Ollie's thinking. I'm pretty certain of that. That's where we're going. For me, maybe 1-1 again. Our favourite scoreline, 1-1, 0-0 right now. I can't see it going any other way unless we get a total surprise performance or Partizan just come out full guns blazing and leave room at the back for us to counter, which is our strength. That's the only way that I could see us scoring more than 1 goal because we can't break teams down at the moment. So where do we go? What do we do with this? Where are you at with this game? What do you think? How do we approach it? How do you see the team selection going? Who's on that flight? And do we risk certain players, even the ones that need game time like Martial? Let me know as always, people. Obviously, comment below. I will probably do a live stream straight after the game to get a sort of verdict from you guys if I can. Obviously, with my schedule at the moment being in and out and that busy, I will see where I'm at. But I will be watching the game. I should be finished in time for that. And obviously, if I can set everything up, I will go live and obviously get your instant reactions along with myself to what has actually happened. I honestly do not know which way he's going to approach it. I don't know. I mean, I can take some form of confidence from the Liverpool game, having that first half especially. He did actually have a little bit of tactical nous about him, Ole, and he did work, and Klopp did struggle to counter it. So he has got a little something there. He's learning a little bit, but all that good work can be undone if we don't get a result against Partizan and Norwich coming up. And by result, I mean good enough results. Because I know we're not going to turn teams over 3 and 4-0 at the moment. It's just a case of building off what we did against Liverpool and maybe getting a little bit better with each game. But we cannot afford to fall back again after that performance against Liverpool. It would just put the most sourest feeling in most United fans' mouths, knowing that it was just because Liverpool were in town. They cannot afford to let these fans down this week, because if they turn up and can't be asked against Partizan and even Norwich at weekend, then the fans are going to start turning even more, because we did get a little bit of encouragement. We got right behind the team against Liverpool. And if they give us nothing back now, simply because it's not one of them big games where you're expected to turn up as a minimum effort like it was against Liverpool, then it's going to start turning nasty. I know it will. So that pretty much covers up this game. There isn't much to talk about. We know what we need to do. We need to get through it safely and get into the weekend where it really matters for me. Or do you disagree with what I'm saying? Do you think we need to put out a strong team and just get a win under our belts? Maybe concentrate on Europa League. Like, share, subscribe if you are watching for the first time. I will be back hopefully live tomorrow after the game, getting your reactions like I said. I will catch you then. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy watching Champions League. I will see you tomorrow. See you soon. Bye-bye.